Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? It's me, Skoro, back at it with another video, and here today, I'm gonna be talking about how good is Zenkai Purple Super Janemba. Up next.
Okay, yeah. If I let this technique go, wipe your spot off the GPS. Who the fuck gon' see me next? Ain't no soul could beat me yet. Top tier, even vest, scared of my DPS. Man, fuck bleeding, you just fucking stop breathing.
Alright, so I'm gonna be discussing about the pros and cons and stuff like that. So, what are his pros? And this is gonna be a pro for every Zenkai Awakening from now, from this Janemba into the future until this game dies. And he's free. That's one of the biggest pros of this Super Janemba. He is free. The fact that with the new changes that the development team did and making Zenkais free, that's just an amazing thing that I believe they should have done in the beginning, but it is what it is, right? But yeah, that's one of his pros. He's free. He's free. Oh man, he's finally free. Yay. Alright, so next thing is the strike card manipulation to your opponents, and every time the opponent switches, right, he seals their strike cards for 3 counts, which is pretty good, right? And then when he pops main ability, he also plus 15 strike arts cards for 15 timer counts. So instead of, normally on average the strike card be 20, it'll be 35. So they can't really combo with the strike cards as much as they want to, so it's a hindrance to the combo pretty much. So that's one of his pros. Another thing of his pros is his green card, which he already had pre-Zenkai. His green card could be blocked by pretty much any blast attack or tap attack, so that's amazing right there. And then another thing too is they buff his blue card, right? So they buff his blue card, so beforehand he used to have 50% of vanishing gauge restoration. Now he has 60. So literally you could just like pop the green card and say it's just his AoE. If you hit the opponent and if they vanish, just hey, you wait for like a second, and then you pretty much got your whole vanish gauge back, pretty much. So this is him, like and another pro about him, he's just fun to play. He's just very fun to play. Like, I mean, that's pretty much like an opinion, pretty much, and I guess it is what it is. But he's just fun to play, man. He just feels so nostalgic. That's like a biased thing, though. Like that's a pro. That's a biased thing. And then the last pro is the fact that he gains card draw speed on his Zenkai ability, his third Zenkai ability. He gains card draw speed, and when he uses a strike or a blast for 10 timer counts, it can't be stacked, because if it would have been stacked, that would have been broken. And then the little third pass is pretty much kind of like a Gogeta thing, pretty much. So yeah, that's it for Janemba. Oh, and his Zenkai ability. His Zenkai ability is purple powerful opponent. Powerful opponent is such a broad tag that I think is gonna be timeless in my opinion. But yeah, that's it for the pros for Janemba. Now I'm gonna talk about the con. Alright, so cons. So his stats is definitely a con, because they made him a defensive type, and especially like the older defensive types, they pretty much kind of like they pretty much their stats is not good. If you're a supporter or defensive type, i.e. Gogeta, Vados, your defense is kind of lackluster, and even your offense is kind of lackluster. So the fact that they made his stats, they made him a defensive type, his stats is going to be lower than, for example, a melee type or a blast unit. So that's unfortunate for Janemba, but that's pretty much the game's fault. That's the dev's fault. So that's one of his cons. Second con, he is a second or third rate option, maybe probably a third rate option, because I Love Cell is better than him. In my opinion, DKP is better than him. So if anything, he's just a Zenkai buffer, which you could say is a pro. He's Zenkai buffing, which I pretty much explained his Z ability pretty much. So it is a pro, but also a con, because it's like there are better options. DKP, you get him for free when you use the ticket if you was playing at the 3rd anniversary, and he's in a ton of banners anyway, so you're most likely to pull him. And then it's Perfect Cell, even though he is harder to pull and he is a brand new unit, and he's still going on right now, so you could potentially, if you get lucky, pull him, unless you took my advice or other consecrated advice and save the crystals. So yeah, that's a con right there, but it's not Janemba's fault at the end of the day. They're just better characters at the end of the day. Another one of his which is more into his kit now, is I don't like the fact that he gains 50% reduced damage received for only 5 counts. He is defensive. He is a defensive type unit. I feel like they should have just permanently just gave him that 50% instead of just having it as a 5 timer count window when he enters the battle. Like I said, he's a defensive type unit, so just give it to him, right? I feel like if you're gonna make a character that's defensive type, just give him defense. Like why you are limiting them just by giving them just defense? Like, to me, that doesn't make sense, and that's just bad design in my opinion. And another thing too, which is his last thing, is I don't like the fact that he is kind of like a win more unit. What should I say? That means, like, I don't like the fact that he has this little passive where he gains additional 20% damage inflicted per defeated enemy. I feel like because there are better purples in your team and there are better characters that you're running in your team, you really don't need that passive when you have other oppressive characters that could just destroy your enemy's team without this unique anyway. So that's just my opinion though. I feel like when you're, like I stated, going back to the defensive type thing, if you're a defensive type and you're meant to tank slash disrupting the enemy, make your kit revolves around that, I should say. Don't make it like half there, half not. So then again, that's my opinion at the end of the day. Oh, and one more thing. No, he does okay damage. That's the last thing. So other than that, yeah, let me know down in the comment down, but let me know you guys your thoughts in the comments down below, I should say. And am I wrong? Am I right? Do you agree with my take? Do you not agree? Just let me know in the comments down below. So yeah, you guys take care. Thank you for watching the video. My name is Cole Royal. Stay safe, stay hydrated. Peace.